If you're a wedding photographer, you probably know the pain of juggling all those SSDs and external drives, trying to remember where that one wedding from 3 years ago is saved because you suddenly want to rebuild your portfolio and you want to access old photos. Funny enough, just this week, my buddy JC posted on Instagram asking what solution other photographers are using for the never-ending piles of drives. So he's tired of plugging and unplugging drives and wants something more stationary that can hold a lot, which I totally get because I personally have been using NAS systems for over a decade. And honestly, I can't imagine my workflow without a system like this. So in this video, I'll explain why NAS storage can be such a game changer for photographers, and then I'll share my first impressions of the UGREEN NAS DXP 6800 Pro they sent me for testing. And while this isn't a paid sponsorship, UGREEN did provide the NAS and the drives, so consider it like sponsored first look. But as always, these are going to be my honest thoughts and opinions on this unit. So let's start with what is NAS. It's basically a little computer in the box, specifically made to be your private cloud and expandable storage. It has these drive pockets for easy drive replacements and adding new drives, and it can be really fast in your local network. It can be really big, up to hundreds of terabytes of storage, and you do have full control over it. The name NAS stands for Network Attached Storage because by default you connect it to your router via Ethernet cable and then you access it from your computer by either mounting the network drives or simply accessing via browser. Typical NAS units cannot be connected directly to your computer other than using the network cable, but surprisingly to me, this one from UGREEN has an option for Thunderbolt connection, which gives you massive speed advantages. But I'll get to that in the segment where I'm going to talk about this unit itself. For me personally, the benefits of having NAS storage over external drives are, first of all, you can have everything in one place. The storage I've had for years have all of my weddings on it starting from 2016, and it's expandable, meaning if I ever start running out of space, I can simply add a drive if I have a free slot, or I can replace a smaller drive with a bigger drive while still maintaining the data and the drive itself intact. Next, redundancy. You can easily set your NAS unit to RAID setup. RAID 5 or 6 are recommended, and this will safeguard you against 1 or 2 drives failures. What does this mean? These bad boys can simply die one day and then your data is gone. Heck, I had one of these dying on me, and then I had one of these other small ones, the regular disk drives, dying on me as well. And with RAID 5 setup, like in this NAS, if one drive fails, you can simply replace it and you can still have all your data. And then when you set up to RAID 6, you have 2 drive redundancy against 2 drives failing on you. So you can really safeguard yourself. Next, remote access. First of all, you can easily access all of your data in your local network from any device that is connected to your Wi-Fi or to your computer Ethernet cable. So your MacBook, your Mac Studio, your phone, and so on. But on top of that, you can set it up for remote access wherever you are in the world. So as long as you have internet connection, you can access all of your files either in browser, just like cloud systems, or you mount it on your desktop and access just like external drive. Note, remote access like this is usually not the fastest because it's limited by your internet connection on both the device you're using to access the data and then back at home where the unit is connected to network. Then you can have your shooters, people you work with, to upload their photos directly to your NAS, or vice versa, can have them downloading the files directly from your NAS. So without needing to pay for any cloud services or having any limits of giga or terabytes. The only limit of your data is how big are the drives that you are putting inside of that unit. And the last but not least, since it's basically a computer, You can install network tools on it, so you can use it as your home server, either to manage your photos or create a home video experience, or even run a Minecraft server for your kids or for yourself, I guess. So how I personally use my NAS, I use mine 3 ways. First of all, it's my raw files archive. So all of my weddings, all of my personal projects, raw files are on it. Then my video projects, and then a backup of my main computer. So my main computer is my MacBook, and on my MacBook, I have my one big Lightroom catalog with all the photos from all the weddings and various projects I've shot over the years. But the only raw files I keep on my MacBook are the projects that I'm currently working on. So unedited weddings or videos I'm currently filming and editing. All of the remaining raw files, so over 30 terabytes of storage, they just live on my NAS, safe from drive failures in one big organized drive with my catalog structure. And whenever I'm connected to my local network at home, I have access to all of them immediately. And then whenever I travel and I need to access some of my files, I can simply connect to my NAS and I can see all the folders lighting up in Lightroom as I connect. And that's just super convenient for me. People are in shock when they see me suddenly pick a wedding from 2019 and just scroll like this in Lightroom on my laptop remotely. I love it. Now, let's look at this bad boy. So the unit UGREEN sent me is called NAS Sync DXP 6800 Pro. So it's a 6-bay unit. I can install 6 drives in it. And I specifically asked for this one when they reached out because I'm all about big drives and I need a lot of space. And here are my initial thoughts after testing. The first thing I noticed is the build quality. The metal chassis feels solid and premium. The drive trays are toolless, so the setup is really easy. It took me maybe 20 minutes to set everything up. It does support a wide range of HDDs and SSDs, and UGREEN keeps updating their compatibility list, so you can check it out on their website, I guess. I recommend using NAS-specific hard drives, so for example, Western Digital Red that I used on this, or Seagate Iron Wolf, because these drives are made specifically to work 24/7. Setup of this unit was very smooth and the operating system is clean and quite responsive. And if you wonder why I requested this specific model, it comes with dual 10 gigabit Ethernet ports. So in the back, there are 2 Ethernet ports and they're both 10 gigabit, which means they're 10 times faster than the regular network connection. So regular 1 gigabit network connection can only support up to 100 megabytes per second speed, even if you're connected via cable. So that's just like a regular desktop old hard drive speed. 10 gigabit can reach way faster speeds, but this type of connection does require specific, network tools. So on my MacBook, I use a Thunderbolt to 10 gigabit Ethernet adapter to connect directly. And if you maybe have Mac Studio or Mac Mini, these can be configured with built-in 10 gigabit ports, and then you're all set. The speed I'm personally getting with this connection are 400 megabyte per second of write speed and almost 1000 megabyte per second of read speed, which is faster than even these typical SSDs. So I can not only treat this unit as my archive, but also as a working drive. And then theoretical speed of the unit can go up to 2500 megabytes per second, but that's when you, for example, use 2 computers in your studio and both are accessing the device at the same time. So there's no limitation here. I think with one device, you can go maybe up to 1000. But the really cool thing that is super new to me, and I actually haven't expected that, because I haven't had that in my previous NAS system, is the option to connect directly your computer via Thunderbolt Cable. So this is still set up as a network connection, but it allowed me to get 900 megabytes per second write speed and 1600 megabytes per second read speed. So that's really super fast. So here's the speed of copying a few gigabyte video file to the NAS using the Thunderbolt cable. It's just a matter of seconds, and the file is on the server and you can share it with anyone you want with a link. Compare it to upload the same file to Google Drive and you can definitely tell which one is faster. And then I'm not even talking about the price of the Google Drive, because Google Drive of 20 terabytes, if even possible, costs around $200 per month. And the NAS unit is one-time payment of around $1,000, and then you have it forever. UGREEN NAS does come with this Albums app that can classify your photos using AI. And while this is not a case for me, it's great to have that, and some of you might really appreciate that. You can also request files or upload them remotely and have your studio editor work on them instantly. So there's simply tons of features and use cases for a unit like this. And for me, like having a NAS unit in my studio is crucial for my work. In terms of value of this unit, I do think that it's definitely there. Like this unit is packed with features and hardware. So 6-bay unit, dual 10 gigabit Ethernet ports, and it currently costs under $1,000 because it comes with 20% Prime Day discount. You do need to buy your drive separately, and I would recommend starting with at least 4 drives, and then you'll be able to expand. For wedding photographers working with, massive raw files and video files, maybe I'd say 10 gigabit Ethernet is almost a must-have if you want, work with a unit like this. So if you're choosing between different NAS units, make sure it has 10 gigabit Ethernet port. While this is my first impressions of that unit, it does seem to check all the boxes, and it's really hard to pick at something. If I would be, it's that maybe UGREEN NAS platform is still quite new, only about 1 year old, so we don't have a huge history of how well supported it's been. And devices like this, so holding your data and then exposed to the internet, do really need ongoing support and constant security updates. So far, like UGREEN have been releasing updates quickly, and I've had even new features being added to this while testing. And the brand already has a strong reputation for other devices, so it's all good signs for the future of this unit. And for those of you who maybe are really worried about potential security, you can always keep that unit in your local network only, and then exposed to internet whenever you need to send something. So if you're still shuffling drives and want your photo library in one safe place, I do recommend looking into NAS system, and this one is definitely an exciting newcomer. Check the links in the description, and for those of you who are interested how I deliver my photos to my clients the very next day, the sneak peek, check out this video on my channel.